In recent news, Ludwig recently revisited an old YouTube video, originally published September 2022, titled "Twitch is Collapsing," which had critiqued Mizkif in relation to a public dispute between Mizkif and Trainwrecks TV. In that older era, Trainwrecks TV had posted a scathing X-post about Twitch and scamming, prompting a war of words. During that clamorous moment, Ludwig used the comments and messaging surrounding it to make a video attacking Mizkif's reputation. Many viewers later considered that video harsh and even misleading because it leaned heavily on unverified tweets and drama. Now, in 2025, Ludwig has publicly apologized for that coverage. He admitted that the original video was incredibly damaging and confessed it was not at all based in fact. Ludwig also acknowledged he had not done the proper research, explaining in the following clip.
I made a video, got a ton of views, has 98.7% like ratio, called Twitch is Collapsing. All right. And this was about Trainwrecks' bombshell tweet, now totally debunked, about Mizkif and I forget whoever else was involved. All right. And I made a video about it that was like incredibly damaging. It was just not at all based in fact, because you don't have fact when you make a video based off of tweets that are completely made up. These videos have no research to them. These videos are aggregates of what is available to see online. And I'm sure if you are still watching any slop drama videos, that is the same thing that.
For more context, he then goes on to say that he apologized to Miz and tried to include him in his events, but understand why Miz is still hurt by it, doesn't like him. I mean, I've never been a Miz viewer and honestly thought he handled a lot of stuff pretty poorly, but on the yard they have never really been shy about throwing potshots at him. Even in the past month there was an episode that Ludwig wasn't on, at least IOC, where his friends basically loosely compared him to Epstein-Loel. I'm not one to really care about purity testing CCs I watch, but it feels insane to have apologized and still be okay putting out stuff like that. In contrast, they were super charitable about pirate software stuff. To clarify more, it was on a premium episode and like a 3-sentence bit. Not super serious, but I still stand by saying it always feels weird to me when they bring him up, especially given Lud is saying he apologized for it. And Ludwig's community still seems to have a very negative opinion of Mizkif. Tectone and Asmongold accuse Mizkif of ruining Tectone's reputation by labeling him as a pedophile.
Doesn't help that certain large streamers like Mizkif have completely obliterated my reputation for the past 4 years, and day after day I have to unshovel the that's been put on me due to streamers like that, where people have a harder time listening and paying attention to the very clear warnings that I give people, because I'm a very careful.
Mizkif insinuated multiple times and made a lot of jokes about Tectone being a pedo and other weird stuff like that about him. I mean, he's saying it now, so I can basically say it. It was disgusting for Miz to have done that. He should have never done that. It was totally wrong, and the way he treated Tectone was awful. I was mainly disconnected from the situation at the time, but it makes me ashamed in a way to know that I was effectively in a leadership.
Hay sounds like a villain announcing to the world that they're about to rue the day they crossed him. He always does this. It's all an act. I still remember his threat to Pinky Chew to retract her allegations in 24 hours or he will release proof that will ruin her. Turns out, 24 hours for Tectone is a year plus at this point. Here's another example where he blackmails another streamers. Again, he releases nothing. Dude just likes to RP as Walter White. I'm not a Miz kid by any stretch, but I get the impression Mizkif doesn't even mention Tectone anymore. Yes, lots of streamers are two-faced, like Tectone, but this guy has an insane victim complex despite the fact. Tectone spends his whole time on Twitter attacking everyone. He's just a pure rage baiter, can't get normal viewers, can't get most streamers to collab, everyone hates him, so he just does these hate-filled posts against every streamer he can. Like a month ago or something, Tectone brought up how Miz was viewbotting during Fat Camp or something. I thought that was supposed to be the nuke. Now people are saying it's about Emiru. I really wish someone would just say what it is. But the fact that Asmon, Tectone, and whoever keeps teasing the drama makes me think that the act of holding the drama in suspense is more effective than just delivering the drama at once. I used to watch Miz regularly a couple of years back, and I stopped just because of life, but I remember that for a period of time, the guy was so anxious and so nerve-wracked over any kind of drama that further threatened his career or the relationships that he was trying to salvage, that you could read it on his face. He'd cry on stream even, and now he looks chilled out. Would a guy like him be chilled out if he knew that guys like Asmon and Tectone have some kind of deep dirt on him? Maybe he's changed a lot in the past 2 years, but I'd still expect I could be wrong. In other news, fellow streamer Co-Carnage shared with the community about Twitch suggestion to make Twitch become about video games again in the following post. Now, firstly, not qualified in any way, but thanks for thinking about me. Mainly, but there is one important reason I could never lead or help lead Twitch. What I would do is not popular. What I would do, people wouldn't like. What I would do would lose money. What I would do is change the system fundamentally. What I do to Twitch would most likely not work. What does that mean? It means if it were up to me, Twitch would become about video games again. No IRL, no politics, nothing that isn't directly related to gaming culture in some way. What Twitch was before it started to woo Amazon with the introduction of IRL, relaxing the broadcast rules, especially around sexual content, etc. So what I'm saying, what I would do is not only unfeasible, it's unrealistic to do what I'd want. It's not something I would do. IRL was a Pandora's box. You can't turn it off. You can't disable it. Hell, at this point I'd argue a huge portion of the platform doesn't even play or care about video games, and that's a one-way process. That isn't something you fix. It's not something me or anyone could go in and bring back. And also, to put it bluntly, at this point there are so many IRL/non-game viewers that it wouldn't be right to turn it off. Twitch isn't about video games anymore. Sure, it has them, but they are no longer the star of the show. They're just another cast member. Now, what's all this mean? It means I or anyone shouldn't want to change that. IRL is here to stay on Twitch, and it's not going anywhere. So when people say things like this, my response? I'd much rather someone with resources steps up to make the Twitch of old, a streaming site for gamers, by gamers, bring in a team of experienced industry leaders that made streaming what it is, at DJ Wheat, at Fwiz, etc., and make a board of leaders that understands that the focus is casters, games, and viewers. That's it. Keep overhead as low as possible in the company to keep all the splits as high as possible. Rebuild Paradise in a new format. That's the future I'd like to see. IRL and all non-game content having a consistent home that doesn't go anywhere. The current Twitch. And the core gamers of Twitch having a chance to return to that magical place we used to live in. A place where everyone we see and chat with shares our passion. A place for gamers. Would this be financial feasible? I think so. A streamlined company would allow for higher subsplits, encouraging casters. I feel many game casters would also flock to the site, as it could be built with all the same features of Twitch but more gaming angled widgets. On top of that, the lack of IRL/non-gaming means a beefy enforcement team would make the platform more attractive to advertisers, assuming the numbers would be anywhere close LOL, in terms of content, and especially in game dev cases, making sure the audience that sees your advertisement actually wants your products. Basically, yeah, it would need some love, but I absolutely think a new platform would be viable over time. Hell, Bezos could fund this himself and just make it a sister site to Twitch. But yeah, nothing in this tweet is new. I feel like a lot of us have felt this way over the years. We kind of feel like we lost our home, and we want to go home. A Northern Lion on fairness.
So if you were born in 1988, if you ever got into what do they call it? A Donnybrook? If you ever got into a Donnybrook at school, they would punish the instigator and the other person, who I would describe as the victim, the same, because they would say that it's zero tolerance. We don't tolerate fighting, and it takes two to tango. So the hitter and the person who gets hit are both getting the same punishment. They told you you'd get it when you're older. I'm older. I still don't get it. The person who started it should be punished more. They should be punished more, because there wasn't a problem. I subscribe to the don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. I don't know why I went to Jerry Seinfeld. Maybe it's the Normcore sweater I'm wearing today. Anyway, we're playing Ball X Pit.
A policeman in India.